Good evening, Cadet Pontel. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Glad to spend some time with you tonight. Thank you for joining. Uh, my understanding is that you have a pretty big summer coming up, and you're doing a couple of trainings. And one of those trainings you're doing this summer for the Sea Cadets is NSWOC training. Is that correct?
Yes.
So tell me a little more about NSWOC. First of all, what is NSWOC?
Well, it stands for Naval Special Warfare Orientation Course. And so
Okay.
it's like a special warfare training for the Navy to get Sea Cadets ready for special forces.
All right. So there's a lot of fantastic training for the Sea Cadets. This one sounds like a whole different level. This one seems really intense.
Yeah, exactly. You need to you need to do a PST to get in. That's part of the requirements, a physical, um, the, hold on.
It's an advanced level of the PRT, correct? The physical
Yeah, the
readiness.
physical readiness test. It's the same test that the SEALs take when they first start to get into buds.
Really? So you're qualifying at the same level as SEALs at this point for this training.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So the training is where?
It's in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay. Okay. And you're actually going to be with SEALs.
Yes, so the instructor is one of the instructors at the training was a former Navy SEAL, and then we'll
Okay.
have a chance to talk to active duty Navy SEALs at the base.
Really? So you go in and you're kind of doing a basic buds like training. It's just a lot shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what motivated you to do this?
For me, it was I read a book a long time ago by a Navy SEAL, and I picked it up during a road trip, and I finished the whole thing that road trip. It was an incredible
Really?
book. It was by
Okay.
Mark Owen. It was the one he was on the mission for Osama bin Laden. So that book was incredible. It opened my eyes to the whole thing. And then that's when, from there, I started doing my own research. And that's kind of what
Fantastic.
got me down this path.
And then you signed up for the Sea Cadets shortly after that, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been to I think you went to recruit training in Texas over the winter, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. So we talked about the physical component of preparing for NSWOC. What about the mental capacity or the mental toughness? What have you done to prepare for this mentally?
So yeah, of course, all the physical work, that stuff takes up a lot. But the parts where you do your physical training, especially during the runs and the swims, that's a lot of the times where the mental game starts to take over. And that's the stuff where, you're in the middle of a hard run or the middle of a hard swim. All you want to
Sure.
do is just quit. Your mind is telling you, giving you all these reasons of why, I get it all the time where I'm like, do I even want to do this? Is it even worth it? It's that hard part where you have to make a decision at that point, and if you're going to go forward or if you're just going to quit. And there's been times where I've quit, but it gets less and less now because
Sure.
now when I reach that point, it's just really important to. I find it helps to just push myself harder and sometimes even focus on that pain, and then that kind of helps me move forward and understand why I'm doing this.
Wow, fantastic answer. Are you considering becoming a SEAL at some point? I know. So you just finished your junior year in high school and you're about to be a senior. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, so I'm going to apply to three of the service academies. I've started those applications, as well as the Air Force ROTC and the Navy ROTC. So I'm still kind of undecided if Special Forces is for me, and that's part of the reason why I'm choosing to do this training, because I feel it'll give me a great understanding of if this is
Right.
the right environment for me.
You'll
So
you'll
from
know
there,
quickly. Yeah, if it's the
yes,
right
I will
environment
for
for you.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that opportunity.
So I think I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you know more information, that if you get through Sea Cadet NSWOC training through SEAL training, it's 80% likely that you would pass the BUDS, the SEAL training through the Navy. Have you heard that statistic?
Yeah, it's on their website. I think it sits at about 77%, a little more than that. But yeah,
Really?
they say that 77%. And I think a lot of that just speaks to, the kids that sign up for this training in the first place, they're already dedicated to go
Sure.
further and pursue this career. And this is just such a crucial step in that process.
So I know some of the trainings with Sea Cadets, and I don't want to take away from these trainings. It's largely a matter of applying, paying the money, and showing up. That's not what this training is about. There's a lot of additional things you had to do to get ready and even get accepted for this, correct?
Exactly, like the PRT. it's an incredible thing to do. It takes a lot. And this training, the instructors, they're kind, but they're just brutally honest with us on what this is going to take. So, for example, there was a couple kids that had gotten, I think, during their PST, maybe 5 pull-ups. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and the instructor said that just work on this, you should be fine. But if you come to the training like that, like 4 out of 5 of you won't be able to make it through.
Sure.
And so
Wow,
it's just
fantastic.
important to be prepared physically and, of course, mentally.
And did I hear you got scuba certified recently too?
Yeah, I did. The training at first, you're supposed to be scuba certified.
Okay.
This July, we're not going to be doing any scuba stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know what was up with that. They just decided not to.
Well, you know what? I'm scuba certified. I'm glad you are. It's a great thing to have, especially as you enter this training. Um, I've seen some amazing things scuba diving, and I'm sure it'll lead good paths for you as well.
Yeah, that's
So are
scuba
you?
diving. The mental part of that too, funny enough, I don't really like the water, and that's also another reason why I kind of am pursuing this because I want to face my fears and really make something better out of it. And the water for me during this scuba training, taking the regulator out of your mouth, the mask off underwater, that
Yep.
was super scary to me. But
Yeah.
just the way they walked us through it, going slow, just remembering to stay calm helps a lot more. And that I think that really helped me a lot more to be prepared for this training even.
Sure. I remember when I went through my scuba certification, they turn off your oxygen under the water, and it's terrifying.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's not something you ever want to experience in the open water. So they show you in a controlled environment, and it's enlightening. So
Exactly. I'm
fantastic.
super grateful to be able to go through that course.
Yeah, well, we're excited to see you go and go through this training. I'm looking forward to hearing about it when we're done. Um, and you've been in the Sea Cadets, I think, for about a year.
Yeah, almost a little more than a year now.
What would you tell an individual that's considering joining the Sea Cadets? Why should they join?
Just for the opportunities. That's kind of why I looked to join in the first place. I heard about this NSWOC training and just everything else you can do. There's branches of this, even if you're not considering military, if you're considering a different branch. I know there's a lot of cadets from our unit that will be going to the Army, etc. So not just the
Yeah.
Navy. There's options for everyone here, and all these trainings provide great experiences for everyone.
And I know we have some cadets that will not be joining the military. They'll be doing college. And again, fantastic experience for that as well. I think again, the mental toughness, the physical readiness, the teamwork. Uh, how was recruit training for you?
It was good. Yeah, it was a little shocking actually, and how I haven't ever experienced anything like that before. So it was
Yeah.
a little bit of a, kind of get used to it period. But
Yeah.
what after
And
that, it was fun.
and you stayed on was it a aircraft carrier or a battleship in
Yeah, it was an
Texas?
aircraft carrier, the USS Lexington.
Wow, that's fantastic.
That had its
Yeah,
own challenges.
I'm sure
It's
it
an old,
did. Yeah.
it's an old
You
ship.
yeah. Well, think about having to live on that for 6 months, 9 months, or longer in a combat situation.
Exactly. And I was so grateful for that opportunity as well, because that kind of helped me to understand I don't want to be on a ship as part of my military career.
Yeah, my understanding is you want to travel.
Exactly. That's why I'm also considering Air Force, because C-17 pilots, you can go anywhere.
Oh, fantastic choice. Yeah, great. Well, we're excited. We're excited for you. We can't wait to hear about it when you come back. Let's schedule another interview when you come back, and we'll see how the experience went.
Sounds great.
Right. Well, thank you, and safe travels.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too.